I touched up on this topic in the last school rant video, so why not dedicate this school rant video to that topic? Waking up early. One of my least favorite things to do, period. During high school, I had to wake up every day at 6 in the morning, 6:05 in the morning to be exact, and I hated it so fucking much. I am a person that despises the morning. I'd rather sleep through the morning, and ever since the pandemic, I've been waking up at I'd say 1 to 2 in the morning every day practically. And you might say, well, that's such a waste. I mean, by the time you wake up, we're already in the afternoon, you missed a significant portion of the day. Honestly, I really don't give a fuck because naturally, I just prefer the night over the day. It is so peaceful and calming. My bedtime is usually around 5:30 to 6 in the morning, and again, I really don't care because my mood is usually significantly better in the middle of the night as opposed to the middle of the day because usually, of course, in the middle of the night, I'm left alone, everyone else is asleep, and everything is just quiet and peaceful, and that's just the way I like it. I usually associate the daytime with, franticness, having to do things, and, just overall having to associate with a bunch of people and interact with a bunch of people, and, situations in general that just make me uncomfortable, and the nighttime is usually just my Zen period. And when I was in high school, it really sucked because I obviously could not stay up that late because I would be going to sleep at the same time I would have to wake up for high school. So I would have to force myself to fall asleep relatively early, which usually failed. I was normally in bed by like 10:30 to 11 at night, but I wouldn't actually fall asleep until like 1:30 to 2 in the morning. And obviously that was a big problem because only a few hours later I would have to wake up and get ready for high school. And that was always such a huge mess because I would wake up, not feel well rested at all because I barely got any rest at all, and I would just feel like shit throughout the morning, all groggy and just pissy, and how you usually feel when you don't get a good night's sleep. And of course, as the school day went on, I would naturally wake up because I would be interacting with people, moving around the hallways. Gym class was also a help, but that first period or two was usually the worst because I would be on the verge of falling asleep because I would be so groggy still. Because again, I did not have a good night's rest at all on most days when I was going to high school, and it was always really difficult because I would be trying to pay attention to what the teacher was saying, but I couldn't because my mind was so preoccupied on going back to sleep. And you might say, well, that's entirely your fault. You have no one but yourself to blame for that. You should have developed a better sleeping schedule, but my natural sleep schedule has always been to stay up absurdly late, sleep in until 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and that has always been the sleep schedule that has made me the most happy, the one that I am the most comfortable with, and the one that I wake up the best from afterward. I am just not a morning person at all. I fucking hate the morning. It's really because I associate that time of the day with having to wake up early for school, having to get ready for school, a place that after a certain point I did not even want to fucking go to 9 times out of 10. And I know I am far from the only person who feels this way. I had a lot of friends in high school who felt exactly the same. They hated having to wake up at such an early hour in the morning. Some even had to wake up earlier than me at like 5 or 5:30 in the morning because they lived farther away from the school I attended and they had to take more than one bus to even get to it, which my condolences. And I have heard some of the most ass-backwards rebuttals to these complaints from some of the teachers I've had throughout the years, but this one is perhaps the most preposterous. Well, school starts so early in the day because it teaches you about the real world. There are jobs out there that start so absurdly early in the day that you have to wake up so absurdly early to even have a chance to make it on time. So school is like this to teach you that. Well, you do know there are plenty of jobs out there in the real world that requires you to work at night so you can sleep in until like sometime in the afternoon, right? All working adults do not have to collectively wake up at the same exact time at like 6:30 in the morning to make it to their job that starts at 8:30 in the morning. There are night jobs, afternoon jobs. A job can take place at any time of the day or night. There are plenty of people out there just like me who like staying up really late at night, and there are plenty of jobs out there that can accommodate with such a sleeping schedule. So there's that stupid ass reputation right out the fucking window, but anyways, I'm just really happy that the days of having to wake up at 6 in the morning every weekday is behind me now. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still had to do some of that for college during the first semester and part of the second semester because some of my days would start at 9 in the morning and I would have to wake up at 6 in the morning because I have to take 2 buses to my college. But it wasn't that bad because, again, it wasn't every day of the week, and some days I could sleep in a little bit. And now with the pandemic, it's even better because now every day pretty much I sleep in until 5:30 to 6 in the morning, and then I wake up at 1 or 2 in the afternoon with no penalization because I don't have to actually go somewhere to take my class. I don't have to worry about transportation or anything. And most of my classes, aside from my Spanish class, which starts at 12:10 in the afternoon, but that's fine. I mean, waking up at 11:30 really isn't that bad, and it's just once a week. But anyways, most of my classes start at 3 to 4 in the afternoon, so that's perfectly fine with me. See, this is the reason why I much prefer college over high school, because you have a lot more freedom when it comes to your schedule. You get to pick the classes that you want to take the most, you get to pick the times that work the best for you, and with high school, well, the schedule you get is the schedule you get, and if you have any complaints, well, you may as well just shut the fuck up because no one is going to listen. I so wish high school was more like college in this regard, because honestly, if high school had an option where you could start your day sometime in the afternoon and your high school day ends kind of late, like more towards the night, I would have zero issue with that because it would accommodate pretty well with my sleeping schedule. Let students who are early birds come in at like 8 in the morning if that's what they like best, but then let students like me come in later because it works best for us. You can't just force every single student of yours to adjust to a sleeping schedule that just simply does not work for them. Providing more options for students seems like the more logical route to take, and perhaps maybe you'll see a decrease in students acting out because there will be more options for them that would accommodate well for them. It's really not rocket science, but I guess taking the logical approach is rocket science for the education system in this country. But with all that said, fuck waking up early. I love playing my GameCube until 5 in the morning. Speaking of that, I'm gonna go play Eternal Darkness now. Phenomenal GameCube game, holy shit. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.